This is Trade Alive with IUX, where markets come alive and trading gets real. Let's go live.
This podcast is brought to you by IUX Trading Platform, elevating your trading experience.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the IUX Podcast, a part of Trade Alive, brought to you by IUX Education and the IUX Trading Platform. We're the show that helps you explore the lives, lessons, and legacies of the world's greatest traders. When you first open a trading platform like IUX, the feeling is universal. It's exactly like being a kid walking into the world's biggest candy store. You are faced with a seemingly infinite list of assets, a wall of flashing tickers, dozens of currency pairs, Euro USD, GBP JPY, AUD CAD. Then you've got the global indices like the S&P 500 and the DAX, then commodities with gold and oil shining brightly, and of course, countless individual stocks. It looks like a universe of opportunity, doesn't it? Your first thought is, this is amazing. I can trade anything, anytime. I'll never miss a move. However, for 99% of traders, this candy store leads directly to a massive, paralyzing problem. We call this too many assets, too little clarity. You know the feeling. You suffer from what's known as analysis paralysis. You anxiously click from one chart to another. You look at Euro USD for 30 seconds. It's quiet. Click. You look at gold. Oh, gold is moving. Should I get in? Wait, what did GBP JPY just do? Click. Oh, I missed the move on GBP JPY. Let me check the S&P 500. Click. This behavior, this constant anxious scrolling, it's not just a bad habit, it's a destructive cycle. It leads directly to chasing random moves, taking high-risk C setups, and a complete and total lack of consistency. The solution, I promise you, is not a new indicator. The solution isn't more screens. The solution is a better process. The real, unglamorous, but critical task of a professional trader is fixing a watch list with too many assets and too little clarity. It's about turning that wall of chaos into a focused, calm, and professional operation. But before we can build that focused operation, we have to be painfully honest about why the chaos happens in the first place. So let's really dig into the problem of an unfocused watch list. Why is a cluttered 50-item watch list so counterproductive? Why is it actively sabotaging your success? Well, it's not just about being busy. It's a deep, dangerous psychological trap. It stems from a well-known trap called information bias. This is the false, irrational belief that having more data, more charts, and more information will always lead to better decisions. We are information hoarders by nature. We think, if I'm not watching every chart, I'm not doing my job. We believe that by watching everything, we won't miss the big one. This bias is fueled by a fear of missing out on a move in an asset we weren't watching. But in reality, the human brain is not a supercomputer. It is not designed to effectively monitor 20, 30, or 50 different unrelated assets simultaneously, each with its own news flow, its own patterns, and its own personality. Think of it this way. Trading is a high-performance mental activity. It's like being a professional athlete. An Olympic sprinter wouldn't run a 10-mile warm-up right before their 100-meter final, would they? So why, as traders, do we force our brains to do the mental equivalent? The real problem, the thing that really hurts you, is what this hoarding does to your mind. It triggers two devastating conditions: cognitive overload and decision fatigue. Cognitive overload isn't just feeling busy. It's a technical state where your working memory is full. Your brain literally cannot process new information effectively. You might see your A+ setup, but your brain can't even analyze it properly. And decision fatigue is the result of that overload. I want you to think of your brain like a smartphone battery. When you wake up, your battery is at 100%. This is your mental energy for the day. This precious energy is what powers your discipline, your patience, and your high-quality, objective decision-making. Now, what happens when you have that 50-asset watch list? At 9 a.m., you're at 100%. You check 10 charts that are just noise. Each check is a micro-decision. Is this a trade? No. Is this one? No. Batteries at 90%. You read 3 irrelevant news articles about a market you don't even trade. That's 15 minutes of deep focus gone. Batteries at 85%. You see what's happening? You are draining your most precious resource on junk. You are spending your gold on things that provide zero return. By 11 a.m., when your one perfect A-plus setup finally appears, the one your entire strategy was built for, your battery is at 30%. You're mentally foggy. Your discipline muscle is exhausted. This is decision fatigue. And because your brain is tired, you are now 10 times more likely to make a rookie mistake. You'll chase the entry because your fatigued brain panics and "I'm late," and you buy at a terrible price. You'll forget to set your stop loss because your working memory is so full you literally forget the most basic step of your plan. Or worst of all, you'll take the trade, it will move against you slightly, and you'll move your stop loss just to give it more room. This is the ultimate sign of fatigue. Your willpower battery is dead. Your logical self is offline, and your emotional self, driven by fear and hope, is now in full control. You wasted your best energy on irrelevant charts, and now you don't have the mental strength to manage the one trade that actually matters. When your watch list acts as a catch-all bucket, rather than a strict filter, you become a jack of all trades, master of none. Think of it this way. The trader with 50 assets on their list is a tourist. They visit EURUSD for 10 minutes, they take a selfie with gold, they see the sights on the Nikkei index. They have a surface-level understanding of everything, but zero deep knowledge of anything. They don't know the customs. They don't know why gold respects the 2000 level. Is it an options-related level or just psychological? They don't know that EURUSD always gets choppy and unpredictable right before the ECB press conference. They are easily surprised, constantly reacting, and always on their back foot. The professional trader with a 5-asset watch list is a specialist. They are a local. They master their instruments. They learn the specific personality of gold. They have an intimate knowledge. They know how gold reacts to changes in bond yields versus its reaction to the US dollar. They know its average daily range, so they're not surprised by a big move that is, for gold, actually quite normal. They know which technical levels it respects and which ones it slices right through. They have a feel for its rhythm, its language. This specialization is your edge. And here's the final painful result of being a tourist. You might miss that high probability A-plus setup on gold, an asset you understand, because you were completely distracted by a volatile, chaotic C setup on an exotic pair like the Turkish lira, an asset you have never, ever studied. It's not just that you missed the good trade. It's that you took the bad trade instead. You took a trade you had no business taking, all because your focus was diluted. This constant asset hopping makes it impossible to learn. You have no consistent data. How can you review your performance at the end of the week? Your journal just says, lost on gold, lost on lira, won on Nikkei. There's no pattern. You are not learning. You are just clicking buttons. This guarantees inconsistent analysis and painfully inconsistent results. That's the tourist trap. It guarantees inconsistent analysis and painfully inconsistent results. So how do we fix this? If that's the problem, what is the solution? This brings us to the core, practical task, the process of curation, or how to actually fix your watch list. The solution isn't just to delete symbols at random. The solution is to build a professional, ironclad habit of strategic curation. You must shift your mindset from collector to curator. A collector just gathers junk. A curator selects only the masterpieces. Here is the three-part process to do just that. Step 1. Make every asset earn its spot. We call this the why you rule. Your watch list is not a wish list of things you might trade someday. It is a high-performance tool for immediate execution. Therefore, every single asset on your screen must have a specific, immediate reason for being there. Before you add a symbol, you must be able to answer the question, why you? Why you Euro USD? Answer: because you are in my active trading session, you have high liquidity, and you are forming a perfect bull flag on the 1-hour chart that matches my written strategy. Result: approved. You can be on the list. Why you, silver? Because it looked like it was moving fast? Result: denied. That is not a reason. That is a feeling. Get it off the screen. It is just noise. The criteria must be strict. If you are a short-term day trader, your list should only contain high-liquidity assets that are active during your specific session. Think about it. If you are trading the London session, why are you staring at the Australian dollar, AUD/JPY? Its day is over. It's just noise. You should be focused on GBP and Euro pairs. If you are a swing trader, you might look broader, but your criteria must be even stricter. You are a sniper, not a machine gunner. You are only looking for A-plus setups on the daily or weekly charts.
Now, that's the criteria, but how do you organize it? This brings us to step 2, which is maybe the most practical tip of the day. Adopt a tiered system. I love this analogy, so I want you to think of your trading like a professional chef. Do not stare at a single massive list. This will overwhelm you. You must structure your attention. First, you have the scan list. This is your pantry. This is your broader list of assets that you understand and that fit your general criteria. This might be 10, 15, maybe 20 assets. This is your pantry. It's where you keep your ingredients. Crucially, you do not look at this list during your trading session. You review this list once per day or once per week when the market is closed. You're prepping. You're looking for ingredients that are ripening. You're looking for setups that are developing, but not quite ready. Example: gold is approaching a key weekly resistance level. It's not ready yet, but it's interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. Second, you have the focus list. This is your stovetop. This is your only list during the trading day. This is your cockpit, your battle station. It should contain no more than 3 to 5 assets. These are the ripe ingredients you took from the pantry. These are the instruments that are in play right now and match your strategy. This is where you're cooking. This is the only thing you monitor for an immediate entry. This tiered system alone will revolutionize your trading. It gives you a clear structure that separates preparation, the pantry, from execution, the stovetop. This tiered system works if you maintain it, which leads to step 3, which is to treat it as a living document. This is the perform or be purged rule. A static watch list is a dead watch list. Your watch list is not a retirement home for assets. It is a high-performance team. You must be ruthless with the define and discard rule. Markets evolve, and so must your list. If an asset was on your focus list because it was in a beautiful trend, and today it breaks that trend and turns into a choppy, chaotic mess, it must be purged. You delete it immediately. It did not perform. It is not your friend. It is a tool that is no longer working. By deleting it, you prevent the digital clutter from accumulating. This daily maintenance is not a chore you do if you have time. This is the job. This is the mental hygiene that ensures your mental energy is reserved only for the highest quality A-plus opportunities. All right, so let's zoom out and summarize the key takeaways. That overwhelming feeling of too many assets, too little clarity is one of the most common traps in trading. It's fueled by the information bias, the mistaken belief that seeing more charts leads to better trading. We now know the truth. In reality, it simply drains your limited mental energy, leads directly to decision fatigue, and causes you to make reactive, amateur mistakes. The task of fixing your watch list is not just about deleting symbols, it is about adopting a professional mindset of strategic curation. You must treat your watch list as a living, breathing document. You must be a specialist, not a tourist. You must strictly separate your active focus list, the stovetop, from your broader scan list, the pantry. And you must be ruthless. Every single asset must earn its spot by presenting a clear catalyst, not just a vague interest. This disciplined approach allows you to replace analysis paralysis with deep, meaningful mastery. You stop being a jack of all trades and start becoming a specialist in your small, well-defined universe. On a platform like IUX, all the opportunities in the world are right at your fingertips. The entire buffet is available, but the successful, profitable trader is the one who has the discipline to ignore the junk, filter the noise, and focus only on the high-quality signals that they have defined in advance. That's the job. That is the path from amateur to professional. And on that note, if this episode gave you valuable insight, you can click like, subscribe, follow, and share it with another trader who might need this reminder. In the next episode, we'll dive even deeper and explore more. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Trade Alive with IUX. Ready to put these insights into action? IUX is here to power your next winning trade